Oh my goodness, we have come so far. So, we talked about who you are, how the world sees you, who you're not, what you're up against, your brand villains, the messages, the design, the images of your brand. We have touched almost everything. So, I want to leave you with two very powerful ideas to help extend your archetype into your brand in even more powerful ways. So the first is themes and metaphors. And the example I'm going to give is choose any old profession, like the nuts and bolts of what you do. So let's talk about, obviously didn't prepare. I'm just trying to think of something interesting here in the moment that I haven't used already in our training. So let's say that your business is a closet organizer for people. If you are the girl or guy next door, you can take that very basic idea of what your business is and you can twist in an extended metaphor to help people understand the girl slash guy next door aspect of your brand. So, for example, you could twist in the concept of a coffee shop. I already spoke that the coffee tends to be a very good metaphor, but you could twist in the idea of a coffee shop into lots of different places in your brand. So, being a closet organizer, you could show up with some hot cups of coffee to sit and talk with your clients. You could even model some of your design decisions off of like a hipster cafe or a bistro that you love that has this very cozy, welcoming, friendly feel, like this one does here in the photo with the wood textures, nice black ceramic mug. You could do things like make sure that your consultations with your clients are always in person so that you can sit across from a table from them and set up your business that way intentionally. The more that you think about all of the different details of a coffee shop, the more ideas you can think of how to use that as inspiration in a seemingly unrelated business. Some of the best businesses and most memorable businesses that I know use these metaphors throughout their like product naming, throughout their design decisions, and it really brings their brand to the next level. The key is just to choose a metaphor or a theme that is on brand for your specific archetype. We don't want to choose something like a castle as your metaphor, because unless you are like in the town living amongst everybody, it's the wrong emotional reaction. Normally we associate castles with royalty, and that's kind of the arch nemesis of your brand. So choose a theme that makes sense, and I'm going to give you a lot of ideas here. So one, warm coffee shop meeting with friends. Others, um so, and I'm trying to be politically correct, but like times in our history when times are really tough are actually good places to draw inspiration from because of the way that people pulled together, the way that we helped each other, the way that we fed each other. We made sure that your neighbor was okay. So, like things like the Great Depression here in the United States in I can't remember the exact year. Was it the crash of 1930? Forgive me if it's wrong. Um, Times like that were really hard, where our institutions failed us, are a great inspiration for how you can create that same type of camaraderie and feeling of community that was present in those times. Farming is also a really powerful metaphor for your archetype. So even if your business has nothing to do with farms, the idea of cultivating land, of feeding your neighbors, of getting your hands dirty, of having chores, like having the discipline to do the right work every day, to take care of the animals and the plants in your care, are all very rich metaphor that you could use with your brand, either just as an inspiration for how you should conduct yourself, or you could actually include elements of farming, perhaps like as cues in your design or in your imagery, and tell that story in a more literal way, even if your business isn't a farm, right? Or even if your business isn't something to do with food, you can still use these stories, these mini stories, in an extended way. So probably wouldn't make sense to do this just one time, but if you have this consistent theme throughout your business, then you can help people understand who you are at your core, because we associate people who farm with people who work really hard and who embody this archetype that you already are. So it's a bridge of understanding to help people understand what you're all about. Now here's a few more ideas. Blue jeans, Southern hospitality. One of my clients who's in a group course of mine is setting up her waiting room in a way that reminds her of like walking into a Southern foyer in somebody's living room. Great way of pulling a metaphor from a theme that is on brand and including it in your business. The idea of the town hall, golden rule, do unto others like you would do unto them. Coffee, busy beaver or a busy bee. Like I said, the Great Depression, or other similar hard times in your history or your culture's history. Farming, horses, best friends or a group of friends. Construction works really well because we have that same hard-working perception of that industry. Coffee shop, if I didn't already say that, and industrial or trades jobs or careers also instill those same emotions in us. We appreciate the people who are willing to do the hard work that we might not even necessarily know how to do anymore. So aligning your brand, using that as a metaphor for the work that you do, could explain how your archetype is coming to life for your ideal clients. So spend some time reflecting on these themes. Pick one that especially resonates with you and see if you can brainstorm ways like I just did with the closet organizer in the coffee shop about how you can actually bring that to life in your business. And then also start looking on Pinterest. I'm a huge fan of Pinterest, by the way, because I'm a very visual thinker, as you might be able to tell by all of the images that are included in these designs. But look on Pinterest by just searching the keyword of one of these themes and see what types of visuals show up, see what types of phrasing or words show up, because you might find some really interesting ideas that way as well. So good luck, have fun, and I will see you in the last video over next.